joining this beautiful moment. Hope and pray that everyone was really attentive to pronounce his syllabus properly and hear the transcendental sound vibration. That's the purpose that we want to fulfill in this life, to chant attentively. So those spiritual warriors who made our journey successful today was Ishwar Krishna Prabhu, Yamuna Sundari Mataji, Aive Gautam, Kasturi Manjari Mataji, Brahmacharis from Houston, Manani Mataji, Amal and Smita Pandey, Sika and Pankaj Gupta, Girivar Dhari Prabhu, Raghav Chaitanya Prabhu, Sri Devidasi, Muli Manohar Prabhu, Shamantan Swastika Pancha, Benyamino Prabhu, Shumitra Radha Mataji, Devendra Krishna Prabhu, Divyan Sen Saloni, Tapti Ghosh Mataji, uh, Sweddi Prabhu, Pratmesh Prabhu, Shriya Devidasi, Rohit Mishra Prabhu, Parmanand Hari Prabhu, Nanda Nandan Priya Mataji, Nadia Kumar Prabhu, Saraswati Devidasi, Manmata Anand Prabhu, Sundari Radha Mataji, Tulsi Priya Mataji, Namanand Prabhu, Prem Vinodani Mataji, Janki Kan Prabhu, Lavanga Latika Mataji, Rajendra Prabhu, Kamal Priya Devidasi, Rag Bhakti Devidasi. Still we are missing Pranath Prabhu and Radhika Mataji. Do you know anybody that how they are doing? Because they have not joined for more than a week. I know that they were sick. I pray that they will recover soon. Raj Vinod Prabhu, Anand Vinodini Devidasi, Pandurang Devdas Prabhu, Damodarati Mataji, Madhvi Kopi Mataji, Madhav Charan Prabhu, Ananya Bhakti Devidasi, Karunamai Mataji, Amalnam Prabhu, Barsana Rani Mataji, Kamini Priya Mataji, Sankarsan Prabhu and Manjari, Radha Vallabh Prabhu, Advait Prabhu, Shrikant Survase Prabhu, Sachinandan Krishna Prabhu, Sritala Priya Devidasi. Today also we didn't see Rasakeda Prabhu and Anand Radhika and Aradhana Mataji also. Haribol, Manoj Kapoor Prabhu, Sundar Gopal Prabhu, Arjun Singh Thakur, Lalit and Josna Bara, Balram Prabhu, Radha Charan Prabhu, Kamlesh Dhingra Mataji, Pitambar Priya Prabhu, Shyam Sundar Prabhu, Harikatha Devidasi, Prem Priya Padma Mataji, Amit Prabhu, Lekha Mataji, Suchitra Devidasi, Sumit Prabhu, Rajesh and Sweta Mataji, Garima Mataji, Vijay Krishna Prabhu, Uttam Bhakta Prabhu, Vallabhi Mataji, Sri Kumar Prabhu, Nissan Sharma Prabhu, and also Hemangini Chauhan Mataji. So let's hear the wonderful song before we will read the prayer of Lord Brahma.
Mama mana mandire raho nishi din Krishna Murari Shri Krishna Murari Mama mana mandire raho nishi din Krishna Murari Shri Krishna Murari Bhakti Priti Mala Chandan Bhakti Priti Mala Chandan Tumi niyo hai niyo Chittanandan Tumi niyo hai niyo Chittanandan Jivana marana tava puja nivedan Jivana marana tava puja nivedan Sundar hai man hari Sundar hai man hari Krishna Murari Sri Krishna Murari Mama mana mandire raho nishi din कृष्ण मुरारी श्री कृष्ण मुरारी ऐसो नंद कुमार नंद कुमार ऐसो नंद कुमार नंद कुमार अबे प्रेम प्रदीपे आरती तोमार प्रेम प्रदीपे आरती तोमार नयन जमुना झरे अनिबार नयन जमुना झरे अनिबार তোমার বিরহে গিরিধারি তোমার বিরহে গিরিধারি কৃষ্ণ মুরারি শ্রী কৃষ্ণ মুরারি মম মন মন্দিরে রহনিশি দীন কৃষ্ণ মুরারি শ্রী কৃষ্ণ মুরারি बंदन गाने तव बजो कजीवा कृष्ण मुरारे श्री कृष्ण मुरारे
Thank you very much, Yeshwar Krishna Prabhu, for playing a wonderful song. So we will continue reading the prayers of Lord Brahma. Today's section is so wonderful, everyone will relish. So we will continue. I don't know which verse, but I think I would like to continue the theme. So we will read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 14, Text 30. My dear Lord, I therefore pray to be so fortunate that in this life as Lord Brahma or in another life, wherever I take my birth, I may be counted as one of your devotees. I pray that wherever I may be, even among the animal species, I can engage in devotional service to your lotus feet. What a wonderful prayer. Brahma continues 10:14:31. O Almighty Lord, how greatly fortunate are the cows and ladies of Vrindavan, the nectar of whose breast milk you have happily drunk to your full satisfaction. Taking the form of their cows and children, All the Vedic sacrifices performed from time immemorial up to the present day have not given you as much satisfaction. Brahma continues 10:14:32. How greatly fortunate are Nand Maharaj, the cowherd man, and all the other inhabitants of Brajbhumi. There is no limit to their good fortune because the absolute truth, the source of transcendental bliss, the eternal, supreme Brahman, has become their friend. Purport. This translation is quoted from Srila Prabhupada Chaitanya Charitamrut, Madhya Lila, chapter 6, text 149. Lord Brahma continues 10:14:33. Yet, even though the extent of the good fortune of these residents of Vrindavan is inconceivable, we 11 presiding deities of the various senses, headed by Lord Shiva, are also most fortunate because the senses of these devotees of Vrindavan are the cups through which we repeatedly drink the nectarian, intoxicating beverage of the honey of your lotus feet. Lord Brahma has so wonderfully. Srimad Bhagavatam, he continues 10:14:34. My greatest possible good fortune would be, listen this attentively, we should also hope and pray for those things, would be to take any birth, whatever in this forest of Gokul, and have my head bathed by the dust falling from the lotus feet of any of its residents. Their entire life and soul is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Mukunda. The dust of those, the dust of whose lotus feet is still being searched for in the Vedic mantras. Purport. These words indicate that Lord Brahma desired to take birth even as the smallest blade of grass in Vrindavan, so that the holy residents of the Lord's abode may walk upon his head and bless him with the dust of the lotus feet. Being realistic, Lord Brahma does not aspire to directly achieve the dust of Lord Krishna's feet. Rather, he aspired for the mercy of the Lord's devotees. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that Brahma is willing to take birth even as a stone in a paved footpath in the Lord's abode. Since Brahma is the creator of the entire universe, we can just imagine the glorious position of the residents of Vrindavan. What a wonderful realization Brahma is sharing with us through these prayers. The Lord's devotees achieve their exalted position by unalloyed devotion and love. One cannot achieve such spiritual opulence by any puffed up material process of personal improvement. In Krishna book, the Supreme Personality God, Srila Prabhupada reveals the mind of Brahma as follows. Quote, but if I'm not so fortunate to take birth within the forest of Vrindavan, I beg to be allowed to take birth outside the immediate area of Vrindavan, so that when the devotees go out, they will walk over me. Even that would be a great fortune for me. I'm just aspiring for a birth in which I will be smeared by the dust of the devotee's feet. Uddhava, the best friend of Krishna, also prayed the same thing. He wants to be a grass in Vrindavan. Brahma continues 10:14:35. Listen, he is revealing wonderful. My mind becomes bewildered just trying to think of what river other than you could be found anywhere. You are the embodiment of all benedictions, which you bestow upon these residents of cowherd community of Vrindavan. You have already arranged to give yourself to Putna and her family members in exchange for her disguising herself as a devotee. So, what to speak of real devotees? So, what is the love for you to give these devotees of Vrindavan, whose homes, wealth, friends, dear relations, bodies, children, and very lives and hearts are all dedicated only to you? Lord Brahma continues 10:14:36. Translation. My dear Lord Krishna, until people become your devotees, their material attachments and desire remain thieves. Their homes remains prisons, and their affectionate feelings for their family members remain food shackles. What a wonderful purport. Apparently, the residents of Vrindavan, the abode of Lord Sri Krishna, are simple householders engaged in ordinary affairs such as herding cows, cooking, rearing children, and performing religious ceremonies. However, all these activities are intensely engaged in the loving service of Lord Sri Krishna. The residents of Vrindavan perform all activities in pure Krishna consciousness and thus exist on the most exalted platform of liberated life. Otherwise, the same activities performed without Krishna consciousness constitute ordinary bondage to the material world. So we should see how much we are bound by this illusory energy of Krishna. Thus, one should not misunderstand the exalted positions of the residents of Vrindavan, nor should one consider oneself highly religious simply because one performs ordinary domestic affairs very enthusiastically. But without Krishna consciousness, by focusing our passionate attachment on our family and society, we are completely deviated from the progressive path of Krishna consciousness. Conversely, if we engage our family in the loving service of the Lord, our endeavors to maintain our family become part and parcel of our progressive spiritual duties. In conclusion, by studying the extraordinary status of the residents of Vrindavan, we can see that the essential quality of their lives is pure Krishna consciousness. The rendering of loving service to the Lord without a trace of material desire or mental speculation. Such loving service to the original personality of Godhead immediately creates the atmosphere of Sri Vrindavan Dham, the kingdom of God, no matter wherever you are staying on the physical platform. Lord Brahma continues 10:14:37. My dear Master, although you have nothing to do with material existence, you come to this earth and imitate material life just to expand the varieties of aesthetic enjoyment for your surrendered devotees. Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur points out that just as a lamp does not seem to shine as brightly in sunlight as it does in the shade or as a diamond does not seem as brilliant on the silver platter as it does on the plate of blue glass. The Lord pastimes as Govinda do not seem as amazing in the transcendental abodes of Vaikuntha as they do within the material realms of Maya. We read that in Brihad Bhagavatamrita that even the earthly Vrindavan is much more than the real Goloka Vrindavan. Krishna is so kind. He has given us everything. May Krishna comes to the earth and acts toward his pure devotees exactly like a devoted son, boyfriend, husband, father, friend, and so on. And within the darkness of material existence, this brilliant liberated pastimes gives unlimited ecstasy to the surrendered devotees of the Lord. That's why even all the demigods are praying that this time we should be taking birth on the earthly planet for first 10,000 years of Kali Yuga. This is the golden age. And if we cannot fulfill our goal of our life in these 10,000 years, what would be the hope for us? In his Krishna book, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Srila Prabhupada quote Lord Brahma as follow, quote, I can also understand that your appearance as a small cowherd boy, a child of the cowherd man, is not at all a material activity. You are so much obliged by their affection that you are here to enthuse them with more loving service by your transcendental presence. Lord Brahma continues. 10:14:38. There are people who say, quote, I know everything about Krishna. Lord Brahma says, let them think that way. As far as I'm concerned, I do not wish to speak very much about this matter. Oh my Lord, let me say this much. As far as your opulences are concerned, they are all beyond the reach of my mind, body, and words. Purport. This translation is quoted from Srila Prabhupada's Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 21, text 27. This is the last prayer Lord Brahma is offering. 10:14:39. My dear Krishna, I now humbly request permission to leave. Actually, you are the knower and seer of all things. Indeed, you are the Lord of all the universes, and yet I offer this one universe unto you. Purport. In the Krishna book, Srila Prabhupada has quoted Lord Brahma as follows, quote, my dear Lord, although you are the supreme Lord of all creation, I sometimes falsely think that I'm the master of this universe. I may be master of this universe, but there are innumerable universes. And there are also innumerable Brahmas who preside over these universes. We know the story. One time, Krishna called the Brahma our four-headed Brahma. There are Brahma with 1,000 heads, millions heads. So Brahma was thinking so much like his position is so strong, he is so powerful, creator of this universe. Then Krishna called other Brahmas. And when our Brahma saw us with 10,000 heads, millions head Brahma, he understood his positions. And that's why he became so humble and meek. And I think he must have cried from his heart that what a big mistake he has done. But because of the sincere crying of his heart, we can see he appeared. Krishna allowed him to appear. as our Namacharya Haridas Thakur. What a great. So let's read this before we get lost into this. Preside this universe, but actually you are the master of them all. As the super soul in everyone's heart, you know everything. Don't think that Krishna cannot read our heart. He knows every single thought goes through our mind and heart. Please, therefore, accept me as your surrendered servant. I hope that you will excuse me for disturbing you in your pastime with your friends and cows. Now, if you will kindly allow me, I will immediately leave so you can enjoy your friends and cows without my presence. The words Sarvam Tvam Vetsi Sarvadruk are very significant here. Lord Krishna knows everything and sees everything. And therefore, Lord Brahma did not need to remain in Vrindavan to maintain his personal loving contact with the Lord. In fact, as the creator of the universe, Lord Brahma was somewhat out of place in the simple, blissful atmosphere of Vrindavan, where Lord Krishna was exhibiting his supreme opulences in herding cows, enjoying picnics, playing games, and so on. Upon seeing the intense love the residents of Vrindavan had for Lord Sri Krishna, Brahma felt unqualified to remain there. He was not eager to give up the Lord's association, but he felt it's better to return to his personal devotional service in Brahmaloka. Somewhat embarrassed and unhappy over his foolish attempt at bewildering the Lord, Brahma preferred to resume his transcendental loving service rather than try to enjoy the Lord's presence. So this is our Creator, Lord Brahma, has prayed. So this will end the prayers of Lord Brahma. Wonderful prayers. And we can see he must have cried sincerely within his heart. We should feel sometime in our life, at least one time, to feel real separation from the divine couple. What an unfortunate situation that we have created ourselves, that we have no deep attractions for the divine couple. We have to be so rigid, so much concentrated, otherwise Maya Devi will look small holes and it will devour our path very easily. And the most amazing thing when Maya does this thing, we feel we are doing great. This is the power of Krishna's energy. Don't try to play with Maya. Let's give our life and soul in this life. We have missed millions of life. It is not that we are coming here first time. We have experienced so many difficulty, so many harassment, so many stressful life we have lived in different pieces of life. And we have forgotten. We read this, but when time comes to apply in our practical life, we miss something because we have not yet created the firm faith in Krishna's words. Krishna will never let you down. He will do millions of times better than what we can do on our own. Let's have that thought sink into inner core of our heart and make our life successful. So thank you very much for joining. I'm so happy to be back in my eternal Dham, Radha Nilamadhavas Dham. It's so nice feeling. And it's so nice to see you all. I offer my humble obeisances at the dusk of these wonderful devotees who take so much austerity to come and join and give their kind association to all of the devotees. And I'm eternally grateful for that. So with those thoughts, always remain happy, jubilant, and totally fearless. And whoever you come across, give them this kind knowledge of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra attentively and make them fearless, happy, and jubilant in this material world. With those thoughts, I would like to offer my humble obeisances at the dusk of these wonderful devotees who joined from Houston, from India, New Jersey, Boston, Virginia, Boise, St. Louis, Alachua, Montreal, San Jose, Austin, Phoenix, Tampa, Arizona, and Brampton, Ontario. Vanchakalpatarubhasya kripa sindhu bhayavacha. Patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you